Newcastle United 1, Manchester City 1. More drop points in the Premier League. So we drew to Arsenal, and then we draw to Newcastle United. I believe that's 3 draws in a row, really. Well, obviously no, the Watford game, sorry. But, apart from the Carabao Cup, it's a draw in the Champions League and 2 draws in the Premier League. It's not cause for concern, not by a long shot. We're not in the mode where we need to start going, oh, City crisis, start throwing things, start throwing wobblies. Nah, still early days. We always do this. We always have a little rough patch at the start. I won't even call it a rough patch. We're still unbeaten. We haven't lost a game this season. People are going to start overreacting a bit though, but that's expected. But come on, we're missing Kevin De Bruyne and Rodri at the same time. That's just like it's like missing both your thumbs. You're missing one thumb, it's all right. You've got a hand. Miss both your thumbs, suddenly you can't grab things, you can't do stuff. But ultimately, it was a result that we kind of saw it coming. We couldn't really kill the game off, but what can you do? We'll rate the players, and we'll find out. We could probably try and find the root cause. Erling Haaland did all right, I thought. Had a few chances. Should he have scored them? Yes, definitely. A couple of moments where that header really should have been in, but wasn't quite placed correctly. He should have placed it a bit better. He had a few chances overall, but again, not very clear cut. Like that just tends to be it. Didn't really have his clinical moments. Really, he was never really given that chance. Very few touches, but that's usual Haaland stuff. But yeah, what can you do? I'm not going to start blaming Haaland because he scored against Arsenal. He's still doing great. He'll be back. He'll be back scoring next week. I can assure you. Midweek actually, Champions League, Slovan Bratislava. Be there. Next up, Jack Grealish. Jackie boy. I think we're seeing Jack back at his best. I do. He had an assist, ran them ragged, and I think he's a great player. I think we're going to see Jackie boy back at his best. He's going to be a really good player this season. Because if you look at his past performances, let's have a look at his past games a minute. Let's have a look. Sorry, where's the games section on this? I'm sure there's a where you can see. Is it this? Not sure. I know you can on the app. I'm not sure with this, but I'm pretty sure his last few performances for City have all been greens. He's all had good performances. He's had really good performances, and he's only going to get better. So I think Grealish is one of our best wingers. We're going to have treble Grealish back, I believe, just because from what I'm seeing from him, he's taking people on. He's winning fouls. How many fouls did he? How many times was he fouled? 5 times. He was fouled 5 times, and they had 4 yellow cards. I reckon them 4 were probably him. But yeah, brilliant. Nothing to complain about with Grealish. Amazing player and a rightful man of the match. Ilkay Gundogan. He's a bit rusty, but what can we expect? He's been stuck at Barcelona, so it's going to take him time to readjust. This moment here was the crucial one. Trying to score from there. He should have just played in Haaland. Should have played the simple ball. That's what Kevin would have done. Kevin would have slipped in early, got the assist. But Gundo saw the keeper here, where this other shot was. Tried to dink him. Didn't quite work. Overall, though, I think, it's going to take a bit to see Gundo back at his best. But he will get there eventually. I know he will. Second half of the season, Gundo, we all know. Bernardo Silva was alright. Unlucky not to score. That should have been a winner, that. It was a great save from Nick Pope. Because he caught it well, chested it, turned, shot. Just unfortunate the keeper saved it. Overall, though, I thought Bernardo had a decent game. Don't really think he could have done much better, maybe. But alas, the whole team was in a similar sort of position. We just weren't clinical enough. We were just missing bits and pieces here and there. Mateo Kovacic, again, great player. I think he's more than well suited to be our Rodri backup. So is Rico. Either him or Rico. Both of them. I like this too. I really do. I think Rico and Kovacic is the two there, the two holders. I think that's brilliant. I fully back them this season for that to be our midfield. Because I don't really know. Kovacic they're both really technical players. And I like that. So I fully trust these two. Rico getting a 6.8 match rating is a bit harsh. There's no way he was the worst outfield player on the team. Not by a long shot. I thought he was a great player. I mean, he wasn't involved as much, but still, I still just think he's a good player. I still just think he was like, you could see what he brings to the team, even when he's not doing as much, you know what I mean? He's similar to Bernardo in a way, where like, he may not look like he's involved, but we sure as hell would miss him. Kyle Walker, I think he did alright. People will blame him for the goal, but no, that's such cherry picking nonsense. Yes, he played Gordon on side. From if you look at the defensive line, you have like I don't know the three defenders, and he's like this playing him on side. But I don't think you can be too harsh. I think that's cherry picking because ultimately Edison brought him down and it was a penalty. So I don't know. It's cherry picking. So just keep blaming stuff on Kyle. I'm not Kyle's biggest fan by a long shot. I'm not wearing a Walker shirt or anything like that. I've got Jack Grealish on the back of this one, but I think we're being too harsh. At the end of the day, he's been a legendary like right back. He's the club captain. We need to show a bit more. I'm not asking people to say he's the best player in the team. Just show a little bit more support. Stop trolling him and slandering him every chance we get, because it's not going to improve him. If I go on Twitter and I see another like 10 people saying I fucking hate Kyle Walker, oh yeah, well done City fans. Yeah, oh boy, he's gonna read them and he's gonna get back to his best. We're gonna have Kyle Walker back from a few years ago. No, just say it. Kyle's really not doing his best, but he's trying, and we're gonna back him. But I open Twitter and I see people saying they're gonna hang themselves because they've seen Kyle starting. Like, chill. Yes, I prefer Rico over Kyle every day of the week. I would much prefer if Kyle played in the lesser games, but I don't know. It's a tough one with Kyle. But you know, he's 34. He's not as fast as he was. He's obviously going to drop off a bit, but he's still a good player at the end of the day. Like, come on. Diaz and Akanji, good centre half duo. Probably one of our best in my opinion. I think they are the best two. Diaz and Akanji. Not really too much to say. It wasn't their fault for the goal. Not really too much to say on them. Not really too much to really point out about the defence. Can't really complain. I mean, Newcastle did have chances. They did have a lot of chances. That's all I can say. They let Newcastle have too many chances. But ultimately, Newcastle didn't really take many of them. But maybe they should have done better keeping them out of the box. Not letting them have as many shots on goal, but whatever. And then Josko Vardiel. What a goal. Jackie Boy with the assist. Josko, he plays like a forward. I absolutely love it when he inverts and he comes inside and he's like, all of a sudden we're playing. When we're attacking, we play a 3-2-3-2. It's like Walker, Diaz, Akanji, Cover Lewis, Grealish, Gundo Silva, Haaland, Vardiel. The amount of times he goes that far forward, it's brilliant. And like he gets in the goal scoring positions and he takes them. And that's brilliant. That's what we want to see. So, yeah, nothing complains about there. And yeah, the stats, but the stats just tell it. The stats just tell the story that we really had the better chance. I mean, we dominated as seen on the stats, but if you look at the XG though, we didn't make as many clear-cut chances. We had more shots and more shots on target, but Newcastle had the bigger chances in the game, and that just tells you like we create stuff, but we don't create quality stuff. If you know what I mean, like the chances we have chances, we have way more chances than the other team. But what's the quality of these chances we have? Like, look at this grouping here. Look at all these shots taken from like this, like sort of like just inside the box. Like look at all the XG, 0.06. I don't want to sound like a stat warrior, like just praising off XG, but it just shows that the quality of chances we're making aren't the quality that we need. Like, I'd rather us have less chances, but get better positions maybe. It's a tricky one though, because sometimes you do have to just do it because the team sit back. You can't just wait for the best chance. You've got to try a few of these little chances because the off chance they go in. Like Gavardio, on his right foot, curl it. Obviously, it's a better position than these lot, but still, you've got to take a chance sometimes with your defenders. But yeah, tricky. We're still second, still unbeaten, and yeah. Not much to say. Apart from, could be worse. We could be United. Could be 12th. One win in the last 5. That's always a possibility. But we're not. And yeah, cracking stuff. we move on to Slovan Bratislava, a trip to Slovakia on Tuesday. So I'll see you for Wednesday for the review of that game. Goodbye. Come on, City.